think I did it. I don't know who's out there, but I know who's in here. Huh? I'm clearing my throat here. Kevin Keller, peeking in. I have limited access to the chat because my Streamlabs app shows me some stuff, but I can't interact. I'm not logged in. But anyway, it's wait, there's my commercial right there. Uh, Mayas Theater, Friday, July 26th. It is not a BYOB. It's a great theater. It's a wonderful venue. I do a one man 90-minute show, and Triple Sun Spirits will be on hand serving beverages. They say that in the promo, but they don't actually serve them. You have to actually buy them. So don't think you're getting like a free drink or any happy horse shit like that. Howdy do, there I am. It is Wednesday, July 10th, 2024, making Tuesday suck less on Wednesday. I fly by the seat of my pants, and tonight is a perfect example of that. It's hot. I'm unprepared. I actually don't feel like doing this, which makes me feel like I have to do this. That's the whole point of trying to make Tuesdays and or Wednesdays suck less. We're hot, we're in bad moods, and if I'm in such a fucking bad mood that I don't want to live stream, which I'm not, I'm just tired and lazy from the heat. I figure you peckerheads who I love must be having shitty weeks too. So the lovely Mrs. Comic is in the house on hanging out with you folks in the chat. I think Richter is going to make it. I don't know if Clee's sister is in the house. Yesterday, this live stream is a lot of fun for us, but it's also set up so I can continue to live my life if stuff happens, or if I don't feel good. Yesterday was basically our granddaughter, who is in college, was in town kind of sort of by surprise. So that wins. Well, we love you folks, but that kind of wins. How often does that happen? So we had very nice pizza party with our granddaughter, uh, who was technically working, I guess. It's an intern. Kevin Keller coming in with the bribe. I will drink to that. Thank you very much. Now, in the scope of not having anything prepared, I gotta tell you that um, Saturday night I did a private gig picnic, way the hell out past the teeny little Statue of Liberty around Sealands Grove area out there, and I'm not cheap, and those parties can be rough, and that is why I'm not cheap. So, and anybody who's nuts enough to spend what I charge on me, I'm gonna do the damnedest to throw down a hell of a show for them. And sometimes it sounds all snooty and shit. Sometimes I get into like what I would consider like a rich, well-to-do neighborhood, and then possibly it makes a little more sense for me to be there. But then this was not really that. It wasn't horrible, but I went through a nice neighborhood where I thought, hey, these folks can afford me, and I went into a neighborhood where I'm there. Okay, well, possibly a few of the houses for this picnic had to get together to be able to afford me. And that's pretty much what it was. It was fun. It was a ball, but they were fucking drunk from the get-go. Drunk people are extremely difficult to perform for if they're allowed to have access to me. In a picnic, believe me, they have access to me. So I got a lot of people in my face talking loud. That's another fun thing about drunk, is that the face comes in here and it's, you know what you should do, and they always have something for me to do. So in this particular gig I was doing was outside, sound system, drunk people all over the place. The guy who hired me was nice, but he was also hammered, and he was on one of those scooter things from the TV. I don't know what the hell they call them. You could just drive around. He seemed like he could possibly drive me over at any moment. There's a lot of pressure when the person that hired you is sitting on one of those motor house scooters, like right there. So I wanted to make sure that person was happy first, and everybody else fucked me in a bucket of goo. So now, um, where let's see where my turntable is, where I'm sitting now, is, let's see, 1, 2, 3. I would say possibly 4 or 5 arm lengths away. At this drunken picnic was the cooler, and there was an elderly drunken lady. It's a 4th of July picnic, kind of, sort of, and she was all red, whited, and blew up, and she was fucking drunk. She's gonna talk to me nonstop and ask me questions, and it's hard to be uh, mean to people at a private party because it's this guy's friends. So I don't know what the protocol is. You kind of sort of have to get the guy who paid you and read the room. Well, she was not going to shut up. Let me tell you what, I crushed the party. I'm proud of myself. And I made only as much of a dick out of this lady to keep her quiet as was completely necessary. But it's a tough way to work. So she's on the cooler, and she said, "Hey, I want to ask you a question." I actually, I don't want you to ask me a question because I'm performing now. There's no real Q&A element to this thing, so I actually don't want to just answer questions right now. She goes, "Okay, so here's my question." That's what alcohol is, and they just they just go go go. And we actually, I made a deal with her at the halfway mark of my show because they always love you, right? And she loved me, and this was the thing. I made a deal with her that if she wanted a hug, and I said, I will give you a hug now in the middle of my show, but you have to promise not to talk anymore. I knew it was a bad deal for me because it wasn't going to happen. So we did the hug. She sat on the cooler, and pow, she went right up and went nuts. And this was, people were all around, right? People all around. They heard me make this deal. So then, after I did the hug and I got the applause for making it a deal to shut the drunken lady up and get her back on the cooler, she started right up. She said, "Now let me ask you. I have another question I want to ask you." And I went fucking nuts. I'm like, "For fuck's sake, we just made a fucking deal for you to not ask me any fucking questions if I gave you a hug." And now the people turned to me a little bit because they thought I was being a little mean to them. I was like, "Fuck you, you motherfuckers. You were here. You heard me make the deal. You applauded for the deal. One sentence, one question later, you want to fuck me in a bucket of goo and pretend like I didn't make a fucking deal and you weren't my witnesses. Fuck you, motherfuckers. I will not be gaslit as to what happened. You were all witness to this deal that I made with this lady. If I gave her a hug, she would not fucking speak." And then she started to speak, and I yelled at her, and you're like, "Fuck all y'all motherfuckers." And somehow they thought that was entertainment. So I believe if you want to have me do that to you at your party and you can afford to have me do it, I'm perfectly willing to call you out on drunken asshole bullshit thing. So those parties also are, I start them in a funny way, but funny way. I'm in not a funny way, in an unusual way. Basically, what I do is I go on my cell phone and I start filming everyone that's there, and I tell them it's not really nice to be here yet because a lot of horror movies start with a comedian who took a private gig out in the middle of nowhere, and this is where his final death would occur here. And so I want to film this as that if I'm never seen again, there's some evidence for the police. And even if you take my phone and smash it, it gets uploaded to the cloud, so the evidence will trail to here, and that way I can start to relax a teeny tiny little bit. So that gets a big laugh, but it is also, there's a little teeny little bit of truth in there somewhere. It's craziest thing. But at the end of it all, they had fun. I had as much fun as I could have yelling at drunken people that hired me to not answer questions, bibbity bobbity, I don't know what it is. But then those things are also kind of tough to sneak out of because I'm not there for an 8-hour picnic. I'm not your professional party guest. I come in, I do my show, and I not much mingling at all when everybody's drunk around me. And I kind of settle out of there, and people actually want you. It's a lot of this. Hey, come here. And then they want to tell you a joke, or they want me to tell them more story because they don't believe I was there long enough because after 19 Yinglings, you probably lose the ability to understand when a possible hour has gone by. So the escape is critical. I plan my route. I make sure I get paid. I gotta slither my way out, and I did. I'm actually very proud of this. The potential for shit to go wrong at one of these is uh, extremely high. You really got to. You have to walk a fine line. An example would be, and this didn't happen there, but an example would be this. So years ago, I was starting to perform at biker uh, rallies, biker events, and things like that. And I got to be friends with some bikers, and we talked about what would happen if a biker heckled me or whatever. Well, what would I do? And a biker friend was actually helping me out, and he basically said, "Don't show any signs of weakness, but don't be a dick either, and then you'll be fine." And that's basically what happened. Was one of the first biker show confrontations I had, and I don't have the boots anymore. I have beautiful black boots that had that tied, and they had laces on them, but they also had a zipper on the side which you couldn't actually really see. And this biker guy had almost the identical boot, but he had the zipper straight up the center, and he took his boot and put it on the stage next to my boot in the middle of my show, and he said, "Answer me this." Now, sometimes I make an exception and do answer some questions. When there was a biker sitting right there at my show in the front row, had something to do with hiring me, and he said, "How comes I'm an ass kicking motorcycle driving motherfucker and I have on these black boots with a zipper, and you're this dumbass Amish comedian, you have on almost the same black boots, but yours have laces? Answer me that." And I've thought to myself, I really actually have just one chance to get this right, because this guy has like an exact thing he's hoping will happen here. So I went all in on uh, why do you have zipper and I have laces? Because you're too fucking stupid to tie a shoe. How do I know? And he fucking loved it, and he high-fived me, and I was in, like, so you pick and choose your moments. There's that extra breath you take to see if you could get away with it. And this party with drunken people had a lot of those moments. As I reflect over the night's fun, things could have gone wrong at any number of places. But I made it home. I get the money, which brings me to um, our crazy cat Caesar, who is very nocturnal. Um, when I perform a one-man show, I don't really do meet and greets afterwards. I have no brain left. Like, here, this is fun, this is casual, but even after the live stream, I gotta take a moment to get my brain back into like a normal functioning thing. So a 90-minute show, it's fucking gone. It's destroyed. And I'm hot, and I'm sweaty, and then for me to not kill myself or anyone else on the ride home, I have a whole process. Mrs. Comic makes sure I have smoothies, and I have a dry shirt, and I drink lots of bottled water, and I replenish my fluids before I make a 2.5 hour drive back. Caesar doesn't give a flying fuck about any of that. When I come in this door at 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30, it is Caesar cat circus time. He's flying all around like a nut, and he's so fucking cute. And you can't really explain to a cat that you're tired and you just conquered the drunken ass party and everybody was happy and it was a 2.5 hour ride back. He doesn't give a fuck, man. He wants to play with all these cat toys. He got all this shit everywhere. He's running all around the place like a nut. He flew past me so fast the other night that he almost knocked my bourbon out of my hand. But that's what you protect first. If you're going to fall and you have a bourbon, you protect bourbon and the face gets protected second. So he's doing circus tricks, and it's not just every so often. He loves when I have a show night and it's a big long ride to get home, which brings me back to the picnic. Also, I might have covered this before, but this is an asshole guy thing. They get offended when you won't have a drink with them, and that happened a lot out there. Like I don't want to drive with any alcohol in my system. I just don't. It is absolutely incredible that people challenge you on that. It's kind of like the dumbest thing. You think they'd congratulate and go, "That's fucking balls to the walls, man. Somebody's got to drive us home." They're like, "Ah!" So when I get home, I am wide awake. I can't drive home if I'm going to fall asleep. So I'm wide awake anyway. So the Caesar Circus is in town. Now let's see what the hell that he did this week. A couple of little things. I have a little thing here. Let's see. Boo. That's not it. Here's the one. Alright, so now Caesar got a new banana. You see that banana right there? That is a big hit. He goes nuts. It gets spanked. It gets bit. He rolls around. He throws it this way and that. First choice, the banana is his absolute favorite toy. But first choice is my foot with the sock. And he's very good. He's very sweet. I don't get murdered at all anymore. But he absolutely. So we have circus, right? So we have fun circus. And now the next thing I want to show you here is, let's see if I can find it. Our grandson, there comes Roger White in with these tips are greatly appreciated. They absolutely are. Thank you so much, folks. Let's see here. I don't know if I can find the next thing that I am looking for. Okay, so what Caesar likes to do, our grandson Hank, which is also a cat, has a thing for doors and cupboards and doors and opening. They're all hell bent and they can't just go everywhere. Caesar has a door that he wants to get through to go down into the basement, and there's no point for him to be down there. There's absolutely all the fun is up here, and then we had to babysit him down there. So he's hell bent on trying to get down there. And so when any of us is down there, mostly Mrs. Comic doing the laundry, it's not a sexist thing. It's just because she fucking rocks. And then so there's a system to get that door open that he doesn't fucking bolt in there. And so he figured out a way to open the door in the last week. And there was it's just a hallway. So there was, he only made it to the one checkpoint, but there's enough shit in there to keep him busy. So Mrs. Comic went and took, you've seen these before, man, I call that a Bornman brick. This is from the Bethlehem Steel. Mrs. Comic's father worked at Bethlehem Steel. They knocked some building down, and they used these bricks, Bethlehem Steel bricks, Bornman bricks as I call them, as door stops and all that. And when I perform over there, I always gift myself a brick or two, and they float around. They actually have sentimental value, but that's an actual fucking heavy brick from the Bethlehem Steel. Mrs. Comic put it at the base of the door so Caesar couldn't open the door, and Caesar moved the fucking brick. That is a big, strong cat to move this. Actually, I'm holding this up too long. This actually is starting to cause my arm pain. And that motherfucker, and I mean that in a cute way, the jury will disregard motherfucker. We love him. He's so adorable. He moved this brick and opened the door. And again, that's a perfect example of my stories don't really have a point or an end to them, but we're babbling away here. So now we have a rhythm with Caesar, because he likes to be pet, but he doesn't really know that he likes to be pet. If you pet him at the wrong time, he gets a little. So I trained him upstairs in the bathroom on a stool to come up on my lap to get treats, and that works very well. But now we must always do that. If you're training anyone, even people, if you train them a certain way, that's the fucking way it is. Like if you're training your husband to just mow the lawn and then he gets a donut, you better have a fucking donut if you're tricking him into mowing the lawn. That's how we are. That's how that thing rolls. So I'm working on him to come down here on my lap here. So the rhythm of how I sit and how he gets treats is different down here than it is up there. And neither he or I have figured it out yet. So he'll sit on my lap, and I got some treats here. I might get him into this mix sometime tonight, but I'm a little nervous about it. Then I'll hand feed him treats, and when there's only one more to go, I sneakily hide in my hand, and then I close the treat jar, and then I give him the last one, and then he leaps down. But if he believes that I have not given him enough treats, that it is not time for him to leap down, he is quite likely to make this face at me. Where the hell is it? See, if I see that face that was just cute and eating treats and licking my hand a second before, if I see that face, I know that I fucked up on the amount of treats that Caesar believes he should have got during this session. I can't believe I got this fucking picture, because he doesn't lock that face. It's just a thing, and then he'll be all pissy and shit. So that story is over right there. But if Caesar comes into the live stream tonight and I'm on my lap and something goes wrong, this is, if you see this face, or you probably wouldn't see it from the back, but I would be seeing it. If you see me make a crazy face with the cat on my lap, pretty good chance Caesar will be making that face at me and making some sort of noise. So let's see if I'm gonna lure Caesar into this stream tonight. So far, not yet. Now we go back to me here. A couple things. When I stream and I'm out of sync here, I often forget what I talked about last week. And some of you weren't here last week, so it won't really matter that much anyway. But for reasons I couldn't tell you, I haven't been able to figure out how to get gas at Wawa with the app. I have the app, and I keep trying, and something goes wrong. And then this past week, I thought, damn it, I'm gonna conquer this, because people much dumber than I am can do this. That's how I learn stuff. If you want to learn something, you're a little worried about it, just look around and go, people way fucking dumber than you have learned how to do that thing. You have to be smarter at least than half of the people that know how to do that fucking thing. That's, it's kind of like a confidence thing. It's probably not the greatest mantra for confidence, like I'm a strong and powerful person. That would be a thing. But also mine would be, I have to be at least smarter than half of these fucking nitwits that can do this. I can't be the only person who doesn't know how to fucking do this, because I've seen real nitwits do this. So I have to conquer and at least be smarter than at least half the nitwits. So that's what I did, and it worked. And then at the second it was working, I remembered that when we first got our cell phones, they were ecstatic with warnings. Do not use your cell phone at the gas pump, because you will fucking blow up. And you will blow up the other guy getting gas. And there's fucking 6 pumps there, and you'll fucking take out 6 carloads of fucking strangers, and the pumps will fucking blow up, and the convenience store will burn to the fucking ground. It'll be your fault because you couldn't wait to check your fucking phone at the gas pump. And the Wawa gas pump app, you have to take your phone and hold it right up to the fucking pump, and it says pump number 2. I would like to fucking blow up and burst into flames here at pump 2. If that happens, I hope that the gas points are transferable to my wife's card, because she has a separate card. It's the dumbest fucking thing. And if you notice now, when you get gas too, all them stickers are gone. They used to have these with the circle and don't fucking do it, or you'll kill us all. Somewhere along the line, they were either lying to us, or they thought, fuck it, some people might blow up, but we really have to promote this gas app in the phone. So I don't know if you can consider that I warned you, or something that you don't have to concern yourself with anyway. But I'm just here to tell you that a lot of times they tell us shit that isn't true, and then they tell us shit that's true, and we don't fucking listen because of shit like this. I hope that they're wrong. If ever some week that I've blown up, if there's an Amish comedian who's blown up at a gas station somewhere, then you'll know they were right. And perhaps it would have been better if I never did figure out how to get gas with my Wawa app. So that will be a thing that would come back to haunt. And it's not just that, there were a whole bunch of these things. Cyclamates were going to kill us. Cyclamates were in soda when they came out. I don't know what the fuck they are. I don't remember seeing them. Cyclamates were going to fucking kill us. I don't remember any soda coming out that said now without cyclamen free, whatever the fuck they are. So those either they decided they weren't going to be able to kill us, or they just fucking made it up and they didn't exist. Um, that really doesn't really have anything to do with the gas app story, but I just thought I would tell you because they often tell us shit and then it turns out to be a fucking lie. To don't take a shower when there's thunder and lightning. I'm telling you, don't fucking do it. That's one you don't want to dick with. Electric coming through the fucking plumbing. Just why tempt fate there? And you don't really get any shower gas points for using an app to go in the shower anyway. So what's no big fucking deal. So there's that. Back to our pets. Um, One of the funniest things is for me is that they Caesar loves when we're home, and our grandson Hank, he loves when we come visit him. They miss us. Our pets miss us when we're away, and we're happy when we're home. Well, when we're home for a certain amount of time, they go, fuck it. So it's just like they'll be around somewhere. Caesar is around somewhere. He is happy that we're home, but not so happy enough that he wants to fucking hang out with us. So it's a weirdness with our pets, but he will follow us if either of us head on up to the bathroom. Chances are he will follow us, but that's kind of a fucked up thing. The pets put us on a guilt trip, and we come home and we have a nice, fun reunion, and then like half hour later, like, fuck it, I'm over it. I'm just gonna go do shit. But don't you go anywhere because I like it when you're home. Don't go anywhere. I like it when you're home. I get stressed when you're not. I don't want to hang out with you, but just knowing that you're here in the living room streaming and screaming and drinking bourbon and going fucking nuts, and Richter's in the chat and Clee's sister's in the chat and Kevin Keller's in the chat and everybody's in the fucking chat. That makes my cat feel better. Not better enough to actually hang out with us, but there you have it. Our pets are that fucking crazy. They absolutely are that crazy. Oh, here's another one Caesar did. Gotta understand something. I want to get a little teary-eyed here. Mary was my first cat ever. I was allergic. We miss her every day. The sweetest soul. She was feral. I don't know how. I mean, I took a bird out of her mouth outside. She was such a sweet cat. Mrs. Comic and I never planned to get another cat because it felt like it was going to be a rebound, a rebound sex or something when you break up and you just go with anybody. We didn't want to have to just go get a kitten or a cat to make us feel not sad. Caesar gave us no choice. He came flying out of the fucking tree, running, biting my ankles, going fucking nuts. So this guy is really, really kind of a nutcase. I lost my train of thought there. I had a note here, and I'll see if I can get it. Oh, what happens is this: is that one of the reasons that we didn't want just make us feel better cat is we didn't just want a cat that would just be like here and laying on us and being all cute, and then we would pet it instead of like one of those stress balls. So Caesar has us on our fucking toes. That's what we needed. There's no real rest breaks around here right now. We have to be on our guard everything we do. Even if he went after Mrs. Comic's foot on the sofa while she was asleep last night. He was eyeballing it, and then all of a sudden, and then me, I'm faced with the dilemma. Do I wake up my wife to say, Caesar's coming to play with your foot, or do I hope it doesn't go that way? So there's always some excitement going on here. Now we go back upstairs to the routine of getting out of the bathroom. If I don't follow this routine, or Mrs. Comic, or some reasonable facsimile of the routine, we can't get out of the bathroom. So we go in the bathroom, Caesar comes in, he peer pressures us to hurry, wrap up, whatever the fuck you're doing, sit on the stool, come up on your lap, give him some treats, and then we move on to the next room. We can't leave the bathroom without that. And then in the next room, there is this, I call them licking sticks. This would be cat heroin. That's what these are. He loses his fucking mind. If we have a situation in our home where we are out of licking sticks, we are fucked. We would actually go to our daughter's house or our nephew's house and send him a text. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. We got to get a fucking licking stick. Just put 3 in a jar. We got to fucking have these things, right? So now the room right outside the bathroom, the lighting is a little dark. That's the way I like it. And that's where Caesar will get the reward licking stick, and while he gets the licking stick, I can make my escape back down here. So the licking stick goes in a little French fry trough. They're actually kind of amazing. Instead of like a cat bowl or whatever. And so I delivered the licking stick into the trough, as I call it, and his head would then go down, and he would be happy. Also, if he doesn't get one, there's a little toy there. I'm warned right away. He'll come out and he'll bap the toy. They'll go. That means he definitely needs to get a fucking licking stick upstairs. So now I've served it. I'm proud. I'm ready to make my escape. And his head went down, and suddenly he fucking leaped straight. He's a big fucking cat. He leaped fucking straight up in the air, and I wasn't even fully straight yet. So his back legs, I call the cats the back legs, and the front ones are arms. So his back legs actually hit my leg, and he used them a little bit to push off to dive and land on the top of a very long gray cat tunnel. Scared the fuck out of me. This happens at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm fucked and I'm up. That's because I'll be up another 2 hours because of this thing. So when he lands, I realize he saw a moth. So be leery of the cat leap with the moth going on. It can really fuck up your night, especially for the when the initial thing happens. You don't go, oh, it's a moth. No, you think it's some kind of fucking monster or demon or some fucking hell break it loose here. Then you have to settle yourself down that it's not any of those horrible things by coming to the conclusion that it was in fact a moth. So Caesar is keeping us on our toes between bricks to keep him out of the basement and leaping at moths. He's really going crazy. Now I got to do another true confession here. It's not that big of a deal, but I think possibly we all have done it. I have people that I text, and that's how we communicate, unless there's something to talk about, something kind of more serious, or something to sort out, or if there's some kind of fucking emergency. Our amazing daughter, who is that's where we go see Hank. We're very close. We have a nice relationship. We have horror book club, and we swap different things here. And so I text her all the time. She will call instead of text if there's a plan, if we have to plan something out. I actually never really call her. So when I call her, when her phone is ringing and it's me, she is rightly setting the fucking alarm off. Fuck! He never calls. Something is fucking wrong. And she happened to be at work. She works at a medical marijuana dispensary. She thought something was wrong, and I just fucking pillow dialed her. That's what I fucking did. I still don't even fucking know how I did it. And there's a split second when the thing is dialing and you go, fuck, it's calling, and I didn't want to, and you can stop it. I couldn't fucking stop it, and I really felt bad. In fact, I'm gonna have to figure out how to make it up to her now. She was upset because I never fucking call. And it's not like you can send a warning text, something's really wrong, and because that's a dick move too. But when I do that, I feel absolutely terrible. And if you do that to someone, do not blow off the idea that you upset them, because that's because they love you and they care about you. Don't just say, well, it was nothing, y'all worked up for nothing. Well, why did you fucking call me? That's the whole point of that. That trauma experience is actually fucking real in her mind, and I feel bad. I have to probably maybe figure out a way to lock myself out of my own fucking phone. So there's that. My bad. And I'll have to make sure my ass doesn't make too many calls like that. Now that puts me over to some more babbling I'd like to do here. Is that we were just at one Sunday, family picnic. You plan these things. Well, I don't plan them because I don't really plan picnics. But I got accidentally, I don't know if it's lucky or if they just figured stuff out. I can't really go to family picnics and parties on like Saturday night. So a lot of the things that we do, the family does, are Sundays. And then it's not like I want to get out of them, but if I have to go to Altoona and come back, and then the next day I'm at a family picnic, I'll be a fucking zombie. I call it triple, quadruple, stupid day after like 6 hour ride, 90-minute show. But I go to them and we have a lot of fun. But when it's really fucking hot, holy fuck, they're not quite as much fun as they should be. Everybody's there, everybody's nice. And here's a little advice for you: if you're doing the hot picnic, take all the fucking pictures at the top of the event, because 2 hours later, people are going to have the look, and they're all going to be fucking red, and they're going to have sweat rolling down them, and our lovely ladies, if they have any makeup and all, that's going to be dripping. So you got to look at. We just look fucking bad. It just happens all the time, and where it's really noticeable is that when people start to leave and say their goodbyes, that's when they realize we got to get some pictures. Oh, we got to get a picture before you go. No, you got to get a picture right when you fucking get there. It's whoever runs these things, start the fucking photo shoot right when people get there. Because when we're leaving and we're hugging, we're saying goodbye, we were actually so horrible, we didn't even want to hug each other goodbye because you're all fucking disgusting and shit. But now we all got to do a group shot. So if you look at some group shots from any of your summer hot picnics and we look like shit, that's because you waited too fucking long to take the picture. So that's your summer hot picnic tip. Babbling away here to beat the band. Let's see here. Got the pocket dial. No cell phones at the pumps. Our pets driving us fucking crazy. Let's see. Oh, this is completely unrelated, except to the way the trolls in my idea hallway work is that the whole gas pump incident, right, amazed me. It actually stunned me. Mrs. Comic and I were going, that's right. They just put, I mean, this was a whole big, scare campaign. They had the stickers all over the place, and people would even yell at you if you whipped a cell phone out. What the fuck's wrong with you? You're trying to fucking kill us all. So that story reminded me of something else. Hang on. That New Jersey, which I perform in sometimes, I know now, but I didn't know when it first was a crossover. You cannot pump your own gas in New Jersey, against the law. And everybody knows it, except if you're from Pennsylvania and you just bolt into New Jersey and nobody fucking tells you. You know, there's not really a lot of signs up anywhere. So I'm going back quite a few, maybe possibly 10 years now, to some of my first shows in New Jersey. And I need to gas up. I was coming back from Uncle Vinny's, Point Pleasant. That might be 10 years ago now. I don't even know. But it pulled into the Turnpike, the Garden State Parkway rest stop to gas up, and I went out and I pulled the fucking pump out. I got fucking surrounded by like their security guys, and they had fucking weapons and shit, and they were yelling at me in a language that I didn't fucking understand. It's going to sound very racist, but what I heard was "Buddha bubda, Buddha bubda, Buddha bubda." What the guy was saying was put the pump down. And after I slowed him down and I could decipher that, I was in fucking terror. I had not pumped any gas yet. I was holding a gas pump and it wasn't active yet because you can't fucking activate them. And all I could think of was put the pump down. Instead of putting it back into the actual gas pump, I actually put it down on the ground, and that looked fucking scarier than anything I'd seen in any action film. Like when Zoolander, when they all fucking supermodels fucking blow up because they pour the gas and they light a fucking match. That, me there with this head, all sweaty, Garden State Parkway, surrounded by security people yelling at me. I think they had guns. I don't fucking know. I was in complete terror. Setting the actual gas pump down on the ground seemed to me like the last thing you see on Channel 69 News. What's the last footage they had of the thing that fucking blew up? So that really fucking traumatized me. And the good news is, though, is that that's the kind of thing that when that happens, you always remember. I would never ever, that would be the last time I ever even dreamed of pumping gas in fucking New Jersey. So, but since I am immature and I will play the long game, revenge, uh, it however, maybe like a year later, there was in the Turkey Hill here in Emmaus, there was, I went and gassed up and I ran in, and there was a car pulled in with Jersey plates, and they were sitting there like dumbasses. And then I told them, it's my first day here, and I didn't get a shirt yet. I can pump the gas for you. How much do you want? It's $20, and they gave me the $20, and I fucking drove off. That's a lie, but it's a funny story, right? That's a funny story, but that's a lie. But I got that joke on a possible thing that I could have done, um, but I didn't actually do it. And I like it as a joke in my show, and I don't say that I didn't do it in my show because it's funnier if I'm a dick. But you guys are all our friends, and I don't want you just going around the world. You could say that I'm a dick, but you should say it for other things. Not that I fucking cheated people out of $20, because I think it's a solid piece of comedy based on knowing that what happened to me before. Uh, my strap is falling down here. So that's how the trolls in the idea hallway work. The gas pump stories all go this way and that, and that's all I can really think of here. I hope you are having a good week. I hope it's the dumbest thing because we just remember to drink water and shit. It's a dumb thing. Sometimes we don't remember the basics. Like me, I should be drinking water. I got the bourbon here. I believe it is Shark Week. How I didn't have anything prepared for Shark Week, I don't really fucking know. Um, let's see. Richter's trying to pull off this shit where I dicked him for that. That's a nice try. That's a nice try. But what you don't know about Richter is if I did that to him, he would be happy that I got the money somehow. He probably wouldn't be quite as happy if I stole it and ran off. But Richter, I can't have this thing. You know, all the people are gonna think now I stole fucking money from Richter. Let me. Can I tip people that are in the chat? Because I know you peckerheads can tip me. I don't actually think I could tip you back because you're probably not qualified as an audience in my chat to monetize your being in the chat. I'm not exactly sure how that works. But I think that's all the excitement I got for this week. Let me check my notes here. I'm so excited about this Emmaus show. Please come to the show. It is not BYOB, as they are sometimes. Triple Sun Spirits will be there, vending drinks. And I am leafing through my notebook here. Let's see. Let me see if I can get a grand finale here. I don't know where that cat is, but I think what did you say?
Sometimes you have to tell the penny story, but you probably don't.
Oh, the penny story. I'll have to make notes so I can tell the penny story next week. So let me see if I can lure this cat over here. This would be my grand finale. Caesar.
Woo-hoo. Said, yeah, keep drinking and stay longer. That's our tip.
Is that the tip? All right, I got Caesar right here. Come on up, buddy. Come on up. Are you coming up? We all know you're coming up. So if you want to play this big grand entrance game, go ahead. Come on up here, you cute little Caesar. Is this in your way? Let's move this back. You get a little jumping room. He's so big, he needs clearance. Are you coming up? I know you're coming up. Even if it takes him a long time to come up, that's actually good because it's filler for the show. So, you gonna do it? He's gonna want proof that he's gonna get a treat. Here is the proof. I got him open. You know, I just told a story about how I train you to come up here on my lap with treats, and now I'm live streaming, and you're right there ready to come up, and you're totally making a dick out of me. So you're gonna come up a different way. He's gonna come up in a way that his ass. Quiet. He's gonna come up in such a way that his ass will bump my MacBook that I moved so his ass wouldn't bump it. But he's coming up, all right, and the alarm did. Caesar. Now he's going back over. I just moved the MacBook over that way. Now he's coming over that way. Are you coming up? He says, enough commotion. In defense of him, we don't do any live streaming for normal treat time. There we go. There's my guy.
I think the camera needs to be angled
Well, I can't angle the camera. I don't trust you
I know.
to angle the camera. Let's see if we can get him
I
over
don't
here.
think they can.
See, I see him in
Oh
mine.
yeah, there they can.
Mrs. Comic, I don't know
Could
what
be
you're
trouble.
looking at. I got him right there. And since this is going to be the big finale of my show, show them how you lick my hand and clean me up. What we're going to do now is we're going to have, this is the finale of my show, folks. We love you. Thanks for tuning in. Caesar is going to get a licking stick right live here. Look at that. Now he's right in action here. This is how much I love this cat. The licking stick is going in my hand, right like this. Don't judge me. And this guy earned it. I don't know how the fuck he made it in here from way up in the tree. There's the licking stick right there. The problem is now with this system is that he sees that wrapper, see that? He doesn't know that fucker's all. Let's see if I can get a little more out of there. Let's squeeze this thing here. You gotta love a cat who'll take a bribe. Not all our pets will take bribes. There's Caesar having a licking stick, and no, I'm not gonna stare at you so you have a confrontation with me. That's fucking stupid. My hand is getting licked. There it is. And I would like to say thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful week. Don't be a dick to each other. Thanks for watching, and I'll try to stream next week on whatever night seems best for me, right? So let's do this. Caesar, let's do that. And oh, get yourselves up to the Mahoning Drive-In. It's VHS Fest this weekend. It might be sold out. Possibly Friday night tickets. I don't really know. And that's it. And of course, don't forget to see me at the Emmaus Theater. All right, folks. Signing off, Mrs. Comic, myself, and Caesar, the licking stick eating lunatic. Here we go.